and see it myself. So far, it's about what I imagined. Ugh, the smell here. I frankly thought... Look at the sky. What kind of place is this? I was just thinking about how concerning it. I sure hope the Archmage can keep a close eye on it. But... We're being awfully carefree, aren't we? I mean, for being trapped in a realm with no guarantee return. It's nice, really. It's just fun. Having someone who can help me forget about old prophecies, Elder Scrolls, betrayals. This awful about all of this. What I said is true. So, I don't want to end up here for all eternity. We got a job to do. Let's find my mom. Way out of here. Lead on. Stay close to me. Not very impressive. Look at the sky. What kind of place is this? Oh, it's on. Good night.
You saved him! His soul is free, I can feel it! He's such a loyal beast. Here, I'll teach you how to call him to you. He'll help you get around this wretched place. But I'm sure he'd be much happier someplace sunnier. Goodbye, hero. Take good care of Arvak for me. Such a good horse.
Easy. Now, that's a bit too close. Comfort. I'd heard stories about the soul camp, but never thought I'd see it myself. So far, it's better than I imagined. Look at this place. I can't imagine choosing to come here. My mother must have been terrified. No, but there's no way she would have left it in Tamriel. She wanted to get it as far away from my father as possible. I can't imagine a better place. Then we find out where she hid it. If she's, well, as alive as she was before. Or is now. Or, you know what I mean. Probably to avoid whatever my father would do to her if he got his hands on her. Or maybe her plan was to come back. She was stuck. We won't know until we find her. Just what my mother told me. I've also studied a little bit on my own, but there's not much. When something is trapped in a soul gem, and then the energy is used for powering an enchantment, the remnants are sent here. Well, I think it's specifically the black ones. I don't know if the soul cairn takes just any leftovers. Look at this place. Do you think anything would want to live here? The only things that can survive here are the ideal masters, the undead, and the souls themselves. Well, if you want to call that living. I don't think anyone's ever met the ideal masters. I'm not even sure anyone knows what they look like. They could be underground, flying above us. They might be the ground. I have no idea. Lots of theories. Some say they feed on them like I feed on blood. Others think they use them as payment for an even higher power. Almost like a currency. A very strange currency. Whatever they're doing with them, they've been harvesting for millennia. No telling how many souls are trapped here. Look around you. There are some extremely powerful undead here. Even a necromancer as seasoned as my mother would be willing to spend years trying to gain access to them. Exactly. It's a lost art. Most necromancers just raise up whatever bodies are nearby. A simple trick, really. Child's play. But bringing something from the soul cairn gives you something much more powerful. Well, that's usually the trick. It's possible to do it through a simple portal. But to finalize the deal, you have to travel here yourself. And most of them never come back. Right behind you.
Serena?
Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We have to talk.
Serena, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to stop him, to make everything right.
Wait a moment. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter? It pains me to think you'd travel with Serena under the guise of a protector in an effort to hunt me down. Coming from one who murders vampires as a trade, I find it hard to believe your intentions are noble. Serena has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you. You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serena herself. When I fled Castle Volkihar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serena speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon. Like myself, Serena was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor. Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serena, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible. If Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serena's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires. And how exactly do you plan on stopping him? If you believe that, then you're a bigger fool than I originally suspected. Don't you think I weighed that option before I enacted my plans? You care nothing for Serena, or our plight. Whether or not you've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn, you're still a vampire hunter at heart. You're here because we're abominations in your mind. Evil creatures that need to be destroyed. Serena? This stranger aligns himself with those that would hunt you down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to him. How dare you! I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father! Serena, if you'd only open your eyes. The moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger. Sorry, Serena. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me, but for Serena's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can. Yes, I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins. You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled here. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnevere roaming the Cairn. Be wary of him. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the Keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat. When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place. I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they craved. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, I would never have come here. The Ideal Masters unleashed their keepers and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins. Unfortunately, yes. Since the Keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to breach. Time has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting. When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place. I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, fortunately, I was able. Unfortunately, since the Keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had
Let's
their
kill
minions
those
construct a
keeper
barrier
things
that
and
I'd
get back
never
to
be
the
able
prison.
reach.
I'm glad you're here. I don't think I could be doing this alone. Growing up back on the island, I barely left the castle. However, talk about be a good guide for this old relic. Relieved, I think. All those things had been building up for a while. You have no idea how long I wanted to say that to her. Look, I loved my father, but when he found that prophecy, that became his life. Everything else, even me and my mother, we just became clutter. I was close with my mother, but she just kept feeding me her opinions of him, and eventually, I started believing them. The moment we gave ourselves to Molag Bal, things got really icy between them. They were both drunk with power and pulling in different directions. Then he found that prophecy, and that was it. I was. Honestly, it took me up until now to figure out that my mother was really just as bad as he was. He was obsessed with power. She was obsessed with seeing him fail. It was just so toxic. Maybe I could have seen this coming. We could all be better off now. I know that in my head, but I just can't help feeling bad about the way things are. Sorry. I know you're trying to help. Thanks. Anyway, we should keep moving. The sooner we get out of this place, the better.
You're doing well, but 2 of the spires remain intact. As you've been traveling in the Soul Cairn, your body has become attuned to it. Let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it, and in its place, a bit of the Soul Cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer. Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where the vampire can flourish, and never again fear the tyranny of the sun. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called to our kind if the prophecy came to fruition. If eternal night fell, there are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would raise armies in attempts to return things to normal. The order of the day would be our destruction, until every last vampire was hunted down and eliminated. I do. It's how the vampire has survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future. I know very little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the Soul Cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance. While some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotting the soul, I believe there's more to it than that. I think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form. Perhaps they were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence. Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims. The Ideal Master's weakness is their insatiable hunger. It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only leverage a necromancer has when bargaining with them. The ability to summon powerful undead guardians, as one would conjure an Atronak or Daedra. However, the majority of necromancers that are foolish enough to enter into a bargain with the Ideal Masters wind up here, as harvested souls. Be careful, and keep my daughter safe. You managed to destroy all 3 keepers? Yes. Please follow me. Keep watch for Durnevere. With the prison's barrier down, he's almost certain to investigate.
I can't believe we found my mother alive. Well... I'm glad you're here. I don't think I could be doing this alone. Wait, I hear something.
He's here! Defend yourself! Where'd you come from?
Come on, she's leading us to the scroll.
Forgive my astonishment, but I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon.
Come on, she's leading us to the scroll.
Forgive my astonishment, but I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon. Volumes written on Durnevere allege that he can't be slain by normal means. It appears they were mistaken. Unless... the soul of a dragon is as resilient as its owner's scaly hide. It's possible that your killing blow has merely displaced Durnevere's physical form while he reconstitutes himself. Minutes, hours, years. I can't even begin to guess. I suggest we don't wait around to find out. Now, let's get you the Elder Scroll and you can be on your way. What did you want?
I can't believe we found my mother alive. Well, you know what I mean. That's it. That's the last scroll. Come on, let's take it to Dexion. I can't believe we found my mother alive. Well, you know what I mean.
I have no choice. As I told you before, I'm a daughter of Cold Harbor. If I return to Tamriel, that increases Harkon's likelihood of bringing the tyranny of the sun to fruition. I appreciate your concern for me, but Serena is all that I care about. I must keep her safe at all costs. Remember that Harkon is not to be trusted. No matter what he promises, he'll deceive you in order to get what he wants. And promise me you'll keep my daughter safe. She's the only thing of value I have left.
Come on, let's go home. The sooner we get the scroll home, the sooner we do with my father.
Stay your weapons. I would speak with you, Quinarin. Cursed, not dead. Doomed to exist in this form for eternity. Trapped between Laas and Enoch. Between life and death. I believe in civility among seasoned warriors, and I find your ear worthy of my words. My claws have rendered the flesh of innumerable foes, but I have never once been felled on the field of battle. I therefore honor name you Quinarin, or Vanquisher in your tongue. Your words do me great honor. My desire to speak with you was born from the result of our battle, Quinarin. I merely wish to respectfully ask a favor of you. For countless years I've roamed the Soul Cairn in unintended service to the Ideal Masters. Before this, I roamed the skies above Tamriel. I desire to return there. I fear that my time here has taken its toll upon me. I share a bond with this dreaded place. If I ventured far from the Soul Cairn, my strength would begin to wane until I was no more. I will place my name with you, and grant you the right to call my name from Tamriel. Do me this simple honor, and I will fight at your side as your Graze Mazen, your ally, and teach you my Thum. Trivial in your mind, perhaps. For me, it would mean a great deal. I don't require an answer, Quinarin. Simply speak my name to the heavens when you feel the time is right. There was a time when I called Tamriel my home. But those days have long since passed. The Dova roamed the skies, vying for their small slices of territory that resulted in immense and ultimately fatal battles. I was. But unlike some of my brethren, I sought solutions outside the norm in order to maintain my superiority. I began to explore what the Dova call Elok Gillan, the ancient forbidden art that you call necromancy. The Ideal Masters assured me that my powers would be unmatched, that I could raise legions of the undead. In return, I was to serve them as a keeper until the death of the one who calls herself Valerica. I discovered too late that the Ideal Masters favor deception over honor, and had no intention of releasing me from my binding. They had control of my mind, but fortunately they couldn't possess my soul.
think now would be a good time to talk. I wasn't sure we'd make it out of there in one piece. I know this sounds weird, but I felt kind of scared for you. For both of us, the Ideal Masters could do anything, really. They could have trapped us there for one. I wouldn't like to be a hostage for eternity, again. Maybe you're a pile of talking script jelly. The Ideal Masters are real. Everything I said about the soul cairn was real. There are trapped souls, cryptic, floating entities. We fought an undead dragon. What we saw basically spelled out everything I had read about that place. The soul cairn, realm of oblivion as ruled by the Ideal Masters. And of course you didn't see them. They're called unseen for a reason. Ugh. Wait. You're just messing with me, aren't you? It's not funny. Maybe next time, I'll be the one to personally soul trap and place you in the soul cairn. See how you take that. You really don't give up, do you? Seriously, I'm just glad it's all over. I know I can... Do you... like me? Not just as a friend, but as something else? I think you know what I mean. Then... hopefully this won't be awkward. So... where are we off to now? Wow. It's... nice, actually. You are so nice and... Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to... I feel free, for once. I didn't mean to jump you like that. I just wanted to do it, my way, this time. To conquer my fear and do the very thing that still gives me nightmares, on my terms. It had to be someone I trust. It had to be you. I used to see intimacy as a way to deceive, to take advantage, and most of all, to demonstrate power. Control, domination, degradation. It's like, all my life, I've only ever seen a facade. I just wanted to experience what it's really meant to be like for once. With you. I'll be keeping an eye on you, and I know you'll be doing the same with me.
Seems there's no... Take a look. Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests.
You don't eat my food. People grow tomatoes.
You should see me if you get bored, stranger.
Fruit!
Dean Inga says a bard can never have enough practice. So, would you like a
You
tune?
look like you... See for yourself. Come back when you figure out how to spend money.
Need something?
Fresh fish, straight from the fjords.
Get your fresh fruit and produce here.
Plenty of fresh, just what you see here. These are troubled times. Be on your guard out there. Fresh fish.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, I hope. Take a look. Don't forget me next time you need herbs and potions. Yes?
Hey, you mix potions, right?
You heard of Raven's Core Hollow? Cape... Huh?
Do you have business with the court? I'd be glad to help. And of course, now, what would you like to purchase? Very well.
Still,
Is
how long
there
did you
anything
know
else
Tori?
you'd like to
Did you know
purchase?
him well?
Very well, I'll make...
I helped
Is
raise
there
him.
anything else you'd
Oh,
like
I
to
could not have been
purchase?
more proud to see Torrig on the throne. He made a fine king.
The Jarl is
Fine
not to
king.
be disturbed with common
Oh,
affairs of court.
wow.
It's so good
To
to
direct those
so,
concerns
do
to
you
me.
wish to master the
Certainly look
arcane
like you
arts?
haven't aged a bit.
Take care
Anyone
of
with a
yourself
stout
and always
heart like
remember,
yours.
I like to think
Welcome
I've aged
here.
well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was.
If you need potions, head over to Angeline's. You own Proudspire Manor, huh? Beautiful house. At least from the outside.
Do you need something? I can't say it surprises me. I kind of figured we were heading for this someday. I just didn't know when. If. I've been assuming that's where this is all going. I've been trying to make my peace with it. Come on, we can talk about this another time. Nothing else then?
Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
Tendrils of thought can wind their way through this realm, but those tendrils...
I'd read stories about the Solitude Windmill, but I didn't expect it to be that big.
If there's anything you need, let's sate that appetite, huh? Sure thing. It's yours for a day. All right, then. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
The frozen hearth.
Let me know if there's anything else you...
So, what's on your mind? You know, I've always been very fond of my mother's garden. Such beauty, nurtured by a master for centuries. It really showed, didn't it? Sorry. I must have gotten carried away. It's just...
I understand
my childhood wasn't all bad, you know? There was some good in it, for sure.
I wouldn't fret over it.
I'm not fretting. I don't want Irid playing those sorts of games.
All right, I'll speak to her.
Just say the word if you need a drink or something to eat.
I don't care how many colleges they do.
Pa says
or
people
how
like
much
you
the sea
are the
swallows.
reason one lives here.
I'll outlast them all.
Rocks and valleys, crevices and hiding places. This is the kind of place where hermits and fanatics dwell. You fit right in. I'm kidding.
Dig, Dweb, give it, quickly. Extraordinary. I see it now. The ceiling structure interlocks in the tiniest fractals. Dwemer blood can loose the hooks, but none alive remain to bear it. A panoply of their brethren could gather to form a facsimile, a trick. Something they did not anticipate. No, not even them. The blood of Altmer, Bosmer, Dunmer, Falmer, and Orsimer. The elves still living provide the key. Bear you hence this extractor. It will drink the fresh blood of elves. Come when its set is complete. Ah, the box contains the heart. I have devoted my life to the elves. The Dwemer were the last to touch it. The Daedric Prince of the Unknown, Hermaeus Mora. I thought there were no secrets left to know, until I first spoke to him. He asks a price. To work his will. A few murders, some dissent spread, a plague or two. For the secrets I can endure. In time, he brought me here, to the box. But he won't reveal how to open it. Maddening!
Come closer, bask in my presence. I am Hermaeus Mora. I am the guardian of the unseen, a knower of the unknown. I have been watching you, mortal. Most impressive. Your continuing aid to Septimus renders him increasingly obsolete. He has served me well, but his time is nearing its end. Once that infernal lockbox is opened, he will have exhausted his usefulness to me. When that time comes, you shall take his place as my emissary. What say you? Be warned, many have thought as you do. I have broken them all. You shall not evade me forever.
I'm okay with the...
Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
They used to call this city the City of Kings. In my books, anyway.
You might run into some of the
Windhelm
lizard folk.
looked back in my time.
Quite a few of them work the docks there. Not sure why.
I had another run-in with a thief's guild.
Be careful, Mino. The Thieves' Guild has Maven Blackbriar. Back. One snap of her fingers and you could end up in Riften jail. Worse.
They represent
These people seem nervous, which makes me nervous.
I just don't want you to.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what... Thanks. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Don't forget us if you need supplies for your journey.
Honored to see you again, my Thane.
I never really... Oh? What is it? Good idea. Even as a daughter of Cold Harbor, some sleep is always good. It also helps with my appetite. Kind of feeling a little uneasy here. Everyone just seems so reserved. But... not in a good way.
Cozy little place, isn't this? Very. We cannot afford to relax. Good luck.
Nice clothes. Doesn't it feel better to be able to move freely?
I don't think the vampires would be stupid enough to attack us here, but you never know.
Arkay's been watching over me for years now. He says he's... Speak with Gunmar. He has something for you.
This is fine for now, but we can't stay. I've located the whereabouts of a vamp. Track him down, tread lightly. The light be with you.
I trust your journey was successful? I'm sorry, my friend. I can no longer be of use in this matter. It's my fault. In my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the careful preparation required. I thought I'd be able to allay the after effects, but I was wrong. Now I am paying for it. Blind? Yes, I'm afraid so. No, it will have to run its course, and there's always the chance I may never recover. No, there is another way. The question is, how much are you willing to risk to find Oriel's bow? I can't guarantee you'd be free from harm. Becoming blind could be the least of your worries. Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as Ancestor Glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the Ancestor Moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek. It involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract Ancestor Moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls. In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the Ancestor Glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every moth priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you. From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy. Well, as I'm sure you've figured out by now, it's no mere coincidence that we're named Moth Priests. The voice of the Ancestor Moth has always been an integral part of reading the Elder Scrolls. Oh, the moths don't literally read the scrolls, but they maintain a connection to ancient magic that allows the Moth Priests to decipher them. If you listen closely when you find the glade, you should be able to hear their song, a soft, harmonious trilling. It's through this ancestral chorus that the moths tap into a form of primal augur and become a conduit for deciphering the scrolls. By having the Ancestor Moths close to the Moth Priest, they can utilize the conduit and share the moth's augury. Only the most resilient of priests can do it this way. It takes years of practice to interpret the harmony. You've come this far, and you've found several Elder Scrolls. Whether you believe it or not, the scrolls have a mind of their own. If they did not want you to find them, they would not allow it. Because of this, I strongly believe you were meant to hear the ancestral chorus. Only one way to find out. Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. There is quite a bit of ritual and concentration required. It can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then, months to recover. Sadly, yes. It is the inevitable fate we agree to pursue when reading the Elder Scrolls. It generally does not occur until a moth priest is in his latter years, but in my case, I simply was not preparing myself properly. Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. There is quite a bit of ritual and concentration required.
Divine smile on you, friend.
Good luck.
I hope we reach the Ancestor Glades soon.